You know who this is? This is Tulsi Gabbard. And she was one of the only Democrats to endorse Bernie Sanders, so she had to get kicked out of the DNC. She's a real champion, right? So she's not perfect. No one is. When it comes to the politicians who are viable in America, I think she's right up there, right? So she's about as as good as progressives can get right now, I think.
She's one of the brighter lights out there, and she has the kind of right background to really cross appeal. She has her service background, her
Right.
background in the military.
So she's from the military, and so she's the one who can come out and be against these wars, right? Because you can't call her a traitor, you can't call her a pinko, you can't call her a pacifist. She served her country in the military, and she's telling the truth about Syria. People don't like to hear that. She's also telling the truth about the Democratic National Committee. She put this video out, and let's just listen.
Last year's presidential primary revealed deep divides within the Democratic Party that went far beyond substantive issue differences. Now, I wish I could sit here and say that things have gotten better, but it's just not true. Recently, the DNC chair, claiming diversity, removed a number of people from the party's executive committee, including Jim Zogby, the only Arab American.
And who did he put on instead of having Jim Zogby, a Muslim American, on? Who did he put on?
Lobbyists and consultants to keep their positions.
Lobbyists and consultants. That's the Democrats.
So what did those who were removed have in common? They either supported Bernie Sanders in the 2016 primary, supported Keith Ellison for DNC chair, or both. What we're talking about here is fighting for an open, inclusive, transparent Democratic Party that best represents and serves the people.
Good luck. Good luck. Not happening. Do you think the Democratic Party is going to divorce itself from Wall Street and their corporate donors? Because that would mean divorcing themselves from Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Tom Perez and Keith Ellison, who said, I'm willing to take corporate money here at the DNC if you guys are. Do you think the Democratic Party's ever going to do that? Get rid of their corporate donors, divorce themselves from Wall Street, and get in bed firmly with workers? Did you really think that could possibly happen to the Democratic Party? I do not. Not without a serious, serious third-party challenge. And even then, I don't think they're gonna. They'll just go, okay, we'll be the centrist Democrats. I'm telling you, that's a pipe dream. I think there's a little bit more to this. Let's listen.
We need to get rid of the undemocratic system of superdelegates who literally have the power to swing an election, making up 1/3 of the votes any candidate needs to secure the nomination. We must enact open or same-day registration in Democratic primaries to make it easier and actually encourage voter engagement.
So these are all great ideas, Tulsi. You know Tom Perez just made sure that that's not going to happen, though, right? They just told you they're not doing it. And now we're a year later, they actually move further to the right. Again, they move further to the right immediately by taking corporate money, installing Tom Perez over the will of the base, and they installed a donor puppet named Tom Perez. So what she's saying is this is all the things we need to do, which for sure aren't going to happen now. For sure. So I don't know what is this? So is this like, well, we have to fight and maybe in 4 years we could get these changes?
I can't help but listen to this and be like, imagine a face like Tulsi Gabbard on a viable third party. Somebody who,
Yes.
We talked about not only her crossover appeal as a veteran, but I think the amount of it. There's people on the right that are very much non-interventionalists. That's part of the reason Trump won, because he said he was going to do that. He lied, but he said he was going to. Well, people that aren't at the non-interventionist point yet, but are more likely to listen to it, they're more likely to listen to it if they hear it from a veteran. People that are more conservative, if a veteran tells them, hey, it's time to end these wars and get our troops out of harm's way, it's time to invest this money back home, they're more likely to listen to that message. And seeing someone like a Tulsi in a viable third party, someone who's young and has ideas and has a lot of crossover appeal for both progressives and people on the other side as well. I mean, that'd be huge, but right where she is now, she has all these ideas that the establishment has already said no thank you to.
Right, so that's so Tulsi, what do you think you're going to do with the Democratic Party? I mean, they already hate you. That they don't like her. They don't. I mean, the only reason they tolerate Bernie is because he's the most popular politician in the country. If he wasn't, they would have nothing. They'd be calling him a communist. They'd be calling him a Russian sympath. They'd be doing all that stuff that they do to the people that they don't like, which is smear them, right? Because there's a rigged system. She's talking about the rigged system that is still staying rigged. It's not changing. Maybe, hopefully, this is her warning shot across the bow that we're going to run third party if you guys don't cut it out. Well, let's finish this video.
Rather than making it more difficult, we must put people over profits and progress over special interests. Now, we can't do this if you've got just a few power brokers making deals in a back room. We can't do this with a closed process or with superdelegates that can swing an election. Your support, our voices right now are critical. Join me by clicking on the link below to sign our petition to reform the DNC.
I appreciate it. I think it's fantastic. I agree with everything she says. We all agree with everything she says. I'm afraid of wasting more effort to try to reform the Democratic Party. Do you really think you're going to take over that DNC? Let's get them into the DSA. Let's get them into the Greens. Let's create an actual workers' party. Let's do that. You have to become a third party. That's just there's just no reforming the party from the inside. Every piece of evidence says the opposite of what that the DNC could be reformed. Am I wrong? I'm just going by the evidence that we keep seeing is that the Democratic National Committee and the corporate Democrats are not ever going to let. In fact, they're going the opposite way. Not only do they not accommodate the Bernie Sanders wing of the party, they're shutting them out, which is half the party, which is the future of the party. Everybody under 35 and under voted for Bernie 7-1 in the Democratic primaries. Those are the people they're getting rid of. So I say, good riddance. Let's leave them and let's fucking beat them. We can't wait anymore. We can't cross our fingers and hope Tom Perez comes around. Because he ain't coming around. That guy is not your friend. Tom Perez is your enemy, and he's working against you. The Democrats are not your friend. They don't want anything to do with reform. They don't want anything to do with anything that doesn't have to do with corporate money, Wall Street, Big Pharma, Silicon Valley, and fossil fuels. It's time to get rid of the Democratic Party. How long are we going to run around hand-wringing about this? How long are we going to keep making videos about how they have to change? And please help me change them. How long? How much longer? It's been going on since fucking 1992. How much longer? We showed up in California. Overwhelmingly, progressives showed up to vote in their progressive delegates to take over the California party. We did that. They have super delegates on the state level also. Fucked over the progressives who thought they took over the party. They then installed, they told the progressives to shut up and get the fuck out. That's a quote.
Yes.
From the chairman of the Democratic Party in California, told the progressives and the nurses to shut the fuck up and get out. And what did they do after that? They installed a pharmaceutical lobbyist who lobbied against Bernie's cheaper drug bill here in California last year. They installed him as the chair of the DNC to kill Medicare for all.